You are welcome to the Impact Journey Show on the Glan Media on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. On today's episode, and just like every other episode, we focus more on you. We talk about the key neglected issues. We tackle matters that can help you improve upon yourselves through interviews and discussions with renowned personalities and knowledgeable people. And with us today, I have the honor to interview our current SRC Secretary for UPSA, and she's none other than Miss Stella. Hello.
Hi.
Please, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm well too. Can you tell us a bit about who Stella is?
Oh, okay. So Stella is a lot, but for the sake of this interview, I would like to summarize. So I'm 23 years old. I'm reading a degree in accounting and finance, and I do aspire to be a chartered accountant because I would like to explore the Ministry of Finance and everything that revolves around finance. So that's my career ambition. And I'm the last of 4 children.
Oh, okay.
The last baby.
Yeah.
Hard girl. Me and mama about. So basically that's about it. Relationship is outright, so nothing about relationship.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, so thank you for that. How will you call your being UPSA? Was it your dream school, or it just came to you? You had to choose it because you didn't have any option, or it was the school you really wanted to attend?
Well, UPSA is probably one of the most renowned universities in Africa, and I would say it's a privilege to be here. First and foremost, when I was done with high school, I didn't really have a sense of direction as to where to go to for tertiary education. But then my sister attended UPSA, so through that I was able to come here. I must say I've enjoyed it so far. So it's a dream come true.
Okay. So for those of you out there who are looking for good universities or tertiary institutions, UPSA definitely should be part of your list when you are checking out for universities. So Ms. Stella, can you please tell us how your level 100 was? Level 100, first semester, second semester, 200, 300, before you aspired for any leadership roles?
Okay, so I remember the first time I stepped on UPSC soil, and I felt so grown. Like, there's this thing that's attached with tertiary education. Once you land here, people assume you're an adult, and you have to reason as such. So, level 100 is only natural that I be a bit naive about like my daily activities, but then I took it upon myself to learn and discover myself. So I think level 100 was basically about discovery. Level 200, I started building up upon my leadership skills. So level 100, my very first lecturer saw me and he thought I should be the course rep. So he appointed me as a course rep. And I think that was...
Yes, the class are supposed to vote.
Well, level 100, we didn't know better. So we didn't know. So we're just there. So ever since, whenever a lecturer or anyone from management comes to class and wants to address the class, I'm the one my colleague but they'll all direct them to me. So eventually, I think that was how it all started, my leadership journey. Level 200 was more of I don't know. I think, level 200, level 300. Level 300, yeah, hey! Because, level 300 is the height of it. Final year is recession, but then level 300, that's like the peak of stress and, academic frustration. And then, by the grace of God, we're able to say,
okay, you see, most of the time, in level 100, people will be like, someone gets level 300, will be like, oh no, I knew level 100 and studied enough. I've done this, I've done that. Now that I'm almost completing, I feel I've wasted most of my level 100. Was it like that in your case?
Well, for me, I like to engage people who have been where I am currently. I usually make friends with people who are ahead of me because they've been where I am, but I'm yet to be where they are. So they usually advise me. And I would always advise my level hundreds, please start your distraction. Now is not the time for partying and all of that. I mean, your first year, your first and your second year in school is to help you project yourself academically, because the last 2 years you are building on. I think the foundation is not so strong. That's it. So basically, I would say my level 100 was more productive because I took the advice that I was given by people who were ahead of me. So that was about it.
That's nice. So if you're level 100 or even a continuous student, you can take a lot from what our secretary is saying. So getting back to you, how did the leadership role start? You mentioned you became a course rep. At least a lot of people are course reps and you don't see how they are able to build up on that. But you are now the SRC secretary. How did it start? You had that in mind even way before you came to UPSA, or you came to UPSA before realizing, oh no, if I've been able to do course rep job, then it seems I can do other things too.
Okay. I never imagined myself in SRC. And I never imagined. I enjoy supporting people to achieve their goals, but I never thought it would be my turn where I would also need the support of others. So what happened was level 100, being a course rep is actually a blessing because it gives you the opportunity to familiarize with lecturers, and these are people who can help you in real life when you come out of the walls of campus. So it started from there. I made sure I gave lecturers the maximum respect. So they also held my hand and took me to heads of departments, deans. So eventually I was able to spread my claws on campus. So I naturalized, I socialized with so many people. So it was very easy to identify me. I think that was one of my main advantages. Sorry. So basically that was just it. Being a course rep was the stepping stone to me venturing for SRC, because I had been able to gather so much resource, human resource. It was very easy to be identified. So basically that was it. And when the time came, when the time was right, I didn't really know I was going for. I would vie for a position. So I was nominated by lecturers and some colleagues to vie for a particular portfolio. That was the portfolio of the secretary. So
so you didn't even intend to contest?
I had no intention. It was just a last minute decision making that I do not regret at all.
You don't regret. Then it means you basically believe in recommendations from other people, or you think the opinions of people on the lives of others are not really necessary?
And sometimes you would have to listen to people. Other times you need to surround yourself with the right kind of people. Like I said, I like to socialize with people who are ahead of me. So they always give you that kind of guidance. So you have a clear cut vision. You know that from here, I'm going here. Exactly. So being a course rep gave me the opportunity to socialize with lecturers. So sometimes they identify leadership qualities in you that you don't see in yourself. So they feel like, oh, that was Stella. I mean, your colleagues are running for SRC. What are you still doing? What are your intentions? And then, they start feeding you with it. So you start developing yourself subconsciously before you realize you're there. So.
Okay. So when they told you you accepted, I mean, you have to get your own ambitions towards SRC and the student. What were some of the things you had in mind? Or what were, aside people recommending you, what were some of the things that drove you to go for it?
Okay, so I had a broad vision for the student populace of UPSA. However, I had to narrow them to 3 main policies. That was digitalization, constantly informing the students on UPSA, and then active collaboration with other departmental parties, organizations, and fellow SRC executives. As my main goal was to basically be there for the students. There's only much the SRC secretary can do. Most of our duties are documentation, paperwork. So aside that, how useful are you to the students? And so I grabbed that opportunity to project myself. I spread my contacts everywhere. So if there's an issue, they call me. Then I always make myself available for students to reach out to me, because it will be hell on campus. You're in your first year, you don't know anything, and there is no one in SRC you can contact, so one has to make yourself available 24/7. That was me.
Okay, and I think to some extent you exhibited exactly that. But I know for every portfolio there are challenges. You had a lot of ambition, just like you said, 3 of them. But can you say you did this, but you couldn't do the rest, and what were the hindrances?
My goals were broad, but I summarized them into 3, so that made it very attainable. However, if you speak of challenges, I would say that when you are working with colleague executives, it's only natural that you meet people from different backgrounds, different attitudes, so there'll be a little friction here and there. But other times, you know that there's a goal, and the goal has to be achieved. So you put your pride aside. You don't lead with ego, you lead with responsibilities. So that was basically it. I had to put my ego aside and work. So.
Alright, that sounds very interesting. If you're given the chance again to lead SRC, I mean, being a portfolio of SRC secretary, what is one key thing you think you could have done better, or you do and do it well again?
Definitely, it would be my social skills. I think I was a bit too professional. Yes, so I would have been less professional, more sociable. But
can you break it down, professional as always in
professional? Not necessarily the dressing aspect, but in relation to students. You know, sometimes students want to open up about real life situations. And then sometimes I try to, limit the conversation and respect their privacy, because I feel it's their privacy. But then they really wanted to open up to me. So I'm so sorry. I thought that was the way to go about it, because professionalism, that's the way forward. However, if I had the opportunity to run for the portfolio again, I would push the professionalism aside kakra and be more natural.
So it means as time goes on, even as you are still a public figure as far as UPSA is concerned and other leadership roles are concerned. So it means if anybody wants to share their private issues with you, you are open for it.
Definitely. Call me anytime, let's talk.
I hope you are listening. You can do that. Okay, what are some of the myths you've heard about leadership?
Myth?
Yes.
SRC student leadership.
Yeah.
There's this assumption that student leaders have unlimited access to money. We feel like we are rich because we are in the SRC. That is far from the truth. I think that's one thing I need to hint on. Yes, and they also feel like you have that one I won't say.
It's too public.
Yeah, so basically about the money, no. It's not like that at all.
I've also heard some of them, they go there, then they don't really remember those who put them there. They vote for them, at the end of the day, they call them, they don't pick up. They need somebody to go to them, they act as if they never knew them on campus.
It all boils down to character. Because, power doesn't really change people, it only reveals who they are. And there are times when I can't speak on behalf of everyone, but myself, I'm not moved by power, because I understand that the position you occupied, someone was there, and you would also leave, someone would take over. So it's a very temporary thing. You would have to learn how to relate to people and understand that your words, if you are not able to put value on your words, then they become meaningless and valueless. And I feel SRC is a stepping stone to where I actually want to be. So it will be very unsmart of me to, just change because I'm in SRC. Student service. So I think it all boils down to character.
Okay, so the character, we have to really take note of that. What are some of the qualities you think a leader, not necessarily someone who wants to contest for SRC, is part to, but then let's broaden it. What are some of the qualities you think someone who wants to become a leader should possess?
Number one, I would say put God first, because someone who's God-fearing is naturally hardworking, humble, and disciplined. So I would like to encase all the values in godliness. So if you ask me the qualities I believe a leader should possess, I would say humility, hard work, and discipline. these three.
Humility, hard work, and discipline. I know even before you became an SRC executive, there were some things you know, oh, if I'm able to get here, definitely I'll get. I mean, are there some ways your life has been impacted with the leadership role you've attained, or you wish it could have been something else?
I say impact with
Yeah.
respect to leadership.
Yes.
I have been impacted by my predecessors in a positive way and a negative way as well. But let me focus on the positive. You know, when someone makes mistakes, you don't judge the person. You try to learn so that you don't repeat them. So basically, complacency. I learned how to not be complacent because something that is meant to be a blessing can easily turn into a curse because of complacency. So I think that has impacted on my life positively.
Okay, so from here, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, 10 years? Are you going to build upon the leadership roles, or you put it somewhere, focus on yourself, money, and other family businesses?
I think leadership is resourceful everywhere. However, I do have plans to continue with my education and to eventually charter. So in 5 years' time, I should be the freshest chartered accountant. Most definitely. And married.
Yeah. That's okay. So, are there sometimes you felt I'm too down, I can't do this, and how were you able to overcome that?
Yeah, that's very natural. Demotivation. There are times when you feel the energy you are giving out does not come out. Like you are not, it's not reciprocal. So you would have to surround yourself with positive people because it's a very powerful tool. Your friends, who do you open up to? And as a leader, you need to have a team that is purposely designed for you, your needs, your emotional needs, and everything that has to do with leadership. Because I would say it has been one of my advantages. I have people I call, I think I'm stuck with this, what's the way forward? And they direct you. Sometimes it helps. Now, feeling down is natural, but you just have to know that at the end of the day, the goals that you have set, they have to be achieved. So you get up and you move. You do it without emotions.
You mentioned we should surround ourselves, like you have someone you can call, but some people feel they don't confide in such people. So what is the way for it?
Well, leadership is a very lonely road. It's a very lonely road because you are a team, but in a way you're on your own because you have goals that you have to achieve individually that individually you would account for. So surround yourself with people. I mean, you know, when we entered SRC, we had a team, campaign team, strategic team, people who help you with the strategies and all of that. So there should be at least someone you can discuss professional issues with, issues relating to student problems and how you can navigate your way through. That's very important. And having friends who give you good advice. Like I said, I like to make friends with people who are ahead of me. And these are people who are like older than, let's say, 30s, 40s. So you can't really discuss minor issues. They'll call you out right now. So you have to discuss serious issues that need immediate attention. And it always puts you on the right track. So you are moving. That's about it.
Okay. So who would you say has been very influential in your journey throughout UPSA?
That's definitely my mother. Hi, Mom. She's been very influential. I mean, she calls me almost every day to like pray with me spontaneously. So definitely I'll give it to her.
Okay. So shout out to our mother. God receive bless you for that. And then before we go, you are very outgoing. I don't know. You feel yourself. You are, yes. I don't know how you do that. For me, even before I post something on my status, I have to think, hey, so what I'm going to post, will people like it? What are some of the comments people will pass? What will someone say? But you, I don't see why. What is behind it?
For me, I feel you don't live to impress people. I'm very notorious when it comes to being real. I'm a very real person, and people who love me for who I am. I don't live to impress. Anyone who knows me will tell you Elle is a very plain, transparent person. And for me, I believe it all starts with confidence and self-love. You need to love yourself and respect and value yourself. When you project yourself that way, people are forced to give you that kind of respect because you respect and you love yourself. And if you want respect, you definitely give out respect to people. You respect their privacy, their differences, and everything that has to do with them. And then they are forced to reciprocate. If it's not a two-way thing, you know that you have to give way. That one also attracts respect. So basically, I would say it's about confidence and self-love.
Confidence and self-love. But has there been a situation where someone would say, this girl, they were training her. This girl, there, she's too knowing. Has there been any situation like that? And how were you able to handle that?
That's natural because naturally, if you're a woman like me and you reflect other women's insecurities, you are being prone to be hated upon. And it's something you have to expect because not everyone who, hi Stella, how are you, loves you.
Yeah.
Most of them are hiding behind the hate and hypocrisy that they genuinely feel for you, but then they have to pretend to, like you so they can pass through. So you have to be very careful with how you treat people, and don't let what people say about you be the focal point for your life. You should look at what God says about you first, because God says that you're a royal priesthood, and that means a lot. You are valued, you are everything that you are supposed to be, and that's enough.
Okay, so let's come back to SRC, the executives. All of you contested, some won, some didn't win. You came together, handing over along the line. Were there some frictions? Were there some, this person, I thought this person was this. I just realized this person is just like this. And how were you able to maneuver your way through?
Well, most definitely there will be friction because, like I said earlier, you are working with people who are coming from different backgrounds and they have different morals. And sometimes you get disappointed, sometimes you get angry. But in the long run, you have to understand that the goal has to be achieved and work has to be done. So you have to put your ego aside. Sometimes you may see things that you don't want to see, but then you have to unsee it. It's impossible, but you have to unsee and move on and achieve your goal in the long run. So it's about discipline and setting your targets and making sure you achieve them wholesomely.
That's right. So how will you rate SRC
on campus?
Yes.
I will give it an 8 over 10. We haven't reached where we want to reach, but we are getting there gradually.
Okay, 8 over 10. Alright, that is it. So before you go, final words to
I really don't know what to say, but I would say that be happy. I mean, work hard, achieve your goals, put God first, be disciplined, set targets, make rules, break them, set new ones, move, surround yourself with the right people.
That's right, surround yourself with the right people. And for this episode, we are so honored to have with us again the current SRC secretary, Miss Stella. Yeah, we are so happy to have you here. I know she has said a lot, quite a lot of things I didn't even know. I've learned some. I hope you learned some too. You learned something from it. And so follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Glan, and expect more from us. Thank you. This is the Impact Journey Show with LORRITHA. Thank you.
Thank you so much.